You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White Sports fans, we must talk about ESPN's Stephen Anthony Smith, a.k.a. Stephen A., a.k.a. Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. Smith, of course, you guys know him from First Take, but he also has his own podcast called The Stephen A. Smith Show, where he actually dives more into politics. Now, I've been paying close attention to what Stephen A. Smith has been saying throughout 2024 on the political side. And folks, it definitely seems to me, anyway, in my opinion, that this man truly wanted to say that he was voting for Trump, but he never did. Okay. Now, the man has admitted that he voted for Kamala Harris. Am I actually sure about that? I don't know if I necessarily believe that, guys, because you guys got to go back and pay attention to what Stephen A. was saying. But however, he admits that he voted for Kamala Harris. But the thing is now, Stephen A. may have crossed the line now. Okay? Stephen A. has come out and he showed support for Byron Donalds to actually become the next governor of the state of Florida. Now, of course, Stephen A. is not in Florida, but his parent company, Walt Disney, is. Yeah. Stephen A., man, he better watch his back. This man is actually due for a new contract with ESPN. Is there a possibility that Stephen A. could actually get fired for falling out of line? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But even though Stephen A. has said that he voted for Kamala Harris, this man has now admitted he regrets voting Democrat. Yeah. He actually said that he was on with Martin Levin over here on Fox News. Now, let's go ahead and play this and react to it. Here we go.
Welcome back, America. Stephen A. Smith. So could you see yourself seeing what you see now? And obviously, Donald Trump can't run for president again, but if he could, under the current circumstances, could you see yourself voting for him?
Quite possibly. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that anymore. I think we're beyond that. He would have to prove a lot, Mark. And I'm not talking about policy now for a second. Allow me to say this. What concerned me about Donald Trump and the reason I voted against him and voted for Kamala Harris was because I felt that he would be divisive, that he would create chaos because he demands such a level of loyalty and fealty to him. And that would take priority over governing our nation. That was my concern. And so I'm looking for both sides to work across the aisle from one another. Having said that, when you see some of the things that he said, if he follows through on some of the things that he has said, it's not just about eradicating inflation, improving the economy, obviously controlling our borders. These are all things that I care about. Make no mistake about that.
But you voted for Kamala Harris, who brought in the inflation, who opened the border. She was the border czar, Stephen A. Like I said, he says he cares about these things. Definitely seems like he should have voted Trump, right?
I certainly would support him in that regard. But it can't be just about fealty to him and loyalty to him. It has to be about getting the job done on behalf of what's in the best interest of the American people, as opposed to yourself, and not engaging in the kind of juvenile tendencies, tweeting all the time and going after people who are really much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. You do things like that and you show that you're the adult in the room. Yeah. I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like.
Wow. Stephen A. Smith right there, guys, said that he doesn't like that he voted Democrat in this election. Somebody better watch out for Stephen A. Smith, man, when it comes to his ESPN career. Because the Walt Disney Company, who he actually works for, is all on board with the Democrats, man.
what I'm saying. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law. We're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to blame everybody else for it. I don't want to hear about defund the police. I don't want to hear about, what there should be open borders. I don't want to hear this stuff. And I don't think most of the American people want to hear that. We're thinking about the state of affairs that's in. We're not about America only, but being about America and prioritizing what's going on in this nation with the desolate and the disenfranchised and everybody else in between, and looking out for the best interest of what it is for America. That is not a crime for an American politician or a commander-in-chief or a senator or a congressional figure to have that mentality. I want them.
Stephen A., in other words, you MAGA?
To have that mentality. So I think about things along those lines. And I'm no longer interested in, nor do I believe any of us should be interested in listening to a bunch of fear-mongering to tell us who we shouldn't vote for. Why don't you come up with a plan that tells us why we should vote for you? That's what I'm interested in. And if Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Byron Donald, Marco Rubio, or the host of other Republican candidates coming down the pike, that's the kind of message that they're going to put forth, I'm down for it. I'm open-minded enough to make sure that I entertain that from a policy perspective. That's what I want for the American people. That's what I want for this nation.
That's why we love you, my man. Now, one quick question. I don't have a lot of time left.
Sure.
You get this all the time. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Kind of a dumb question, but I like it anyway.
I got to tell you something right now. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes, the reigning two-time defending Super Bowl champion. But this guy, Josh Allen, with the Buffalo Bills, the way he's looking right now, he's my leading candidate for league MVP honors. He looks absolutely phenomenal. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Philadelphia Eagles played the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills ended up winning a Super Bowl championship. The way this kid is looking, he's looking that special.
I know. And you've got great quarterbacks everywhere, and he's like the standout of the bunch. It's unbelievable. Stephen A., I love your show on ESPN.
Yeah, so you heard that right there. Even though Stephen A. actually talked about the Philadelphia Eagles guys, the Philadelphia Eagles just blew a lead to the Redskins guys, and the Redskins just beat them. That was a nice comeback by the Redskins right there. Okay? Now he's talking about Patrick Mahomes also. Yeah, but man, Josh Allen, boy, the Bills look good. Even in the loss a few weeks back, man, Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns. 6. I believe he threw for 3 and ran for 3. The Bills, man, they look serious, man. Now the Lions now, they got some injuries, so we have to see what happens with them. But anyway, guys, what do you guys make of this though, man? Stephen A. Smith admits that he regrets voting Democrat. Wow. Good luck with your contract negotiations, Stephen A. Good luck with that. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.